Yo, yo, yo. What is good, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great Friday and a great Saturday. Um, I messed up my video, so I'm making a little remake one. This one's gonna be real quick because I think I'm only gonna do NCAA, and then I'll probably post another one tomorrow before NFL really gets going. But I'm gonna get straight into it because I missed some games from yesterday, but I would have went with these anyways. We would have had Georgia for yesterday with Georgia Tech. I would have had Indiana. I don't think that game would have been a game regardless. Um, I would have went Texas A&M strictly because, it's always an opportunity. And yeah, it is special. Like I said, like anybody who plays in the SEC, we want to play in the SEC championship. I just want the bye. I just wanted the bye. So now it's like we on that cusp of all right, we gonna have the bye, we might not have the bye. So we'll see. But I would have went Texas A&M. I'm very shocked that Texas won that game. But Marcel got hurt as well, so it was a lot of factors that kind of played into that. And I think Texas A&M, if they don't make a whole bunch shake in the playoffs this year, I think they'll be back next year. Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. I would win Ole Miss. I think Lane's gone, especially if LSU can guarantee because they can really guarantee him. Hey, we got one of the best classes in the nation right now in recruiting, and you on the out. And then when it come down to recruiting right now with Ole Miss, I think they still got a top 10, top 15 class, but top 10 compared to almost the number one class in the nation. I'll take the number one class. And then I could possibly bring over some of the cats that I already recruited. Sound like a good deal to me. I also just don't think Ole Miss play style. Like he can bring the offense, but they gonna tell him he gonna have to get a different defense. You know what I mean? You gonna have to make some shake with that area. And not saying that it's bad. It's been pretty good this year, but his marquee is, his staple is offense. That's what he's known for. I would win Utah in the Utah versus Kansas game. Um, I just like Utah. And I would have went Arizona with the Arizona versus Arizona State game. Sam has really looked the best since the beginning of the year. So, it is what it is, but I still think he's going to be a really good quarterback. And they saying that he's going to transfer, which is crazy. Like, I don't think Arizona State is looking bad, and I think they're on the rise. But if he does transfer, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Ohio State versus Michigan. I think Ohio State will win this game, but I think there's a possibility that Michigan, if they are able to control the pace of the game, they can win this game. But I don't really think Michigan's really played too many people this year, and the people that they have played, they've lost, I believe. So yeah, all the people that they should have beat, what I'm saying, that were good teams, they lost. So I'm gonna roll with Ohio State with this one just because they've shown me that they can win the big game, like that they have on their schedule. Michigan still seems like they're working some things out, and that's okay. They have a freshman quarterback. They got the best duo running back, in the game. I feel like the way they play the game, it has to be on their terms, and they're probably not gonna be able to play like that until next year, till they have their quarterback on a better understanding of what they're doing. Texas Tech versus West Virginia. I'm going to go Texas Tech. Miami versus Pitt. I'm going Miami. Pitt's been looking really good at the end of the year. I think they changed up their quarterback. So I think that was just the spark they needed. Or he was hurt and he just got back. BYU versus UCF. I'm going BYU. I think those are just regular games. Yeah, those two. But those two are meaningful games if BYU want to get into the Big 12, and then if Miami want to stay in the hunt, they got to win that game. Oregon versus Washington. I'm going to roll with Oregon. I think Oregon's been looking pretty good. like at the end of the year. Washington's a really good team, though. I do think next year they're gonna be somebody to watch out for. LSU versus Oklahoma. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma. They at home, and I think they'll go ahead and handle business. I think Harold Perkins is gonna end up coming back for another year. I think he's a junior. If he's a junior, I think he comes back for another year. He is, yeah, he a junior. He might have been hurt a couple times this year too. So I think if he comes back for his senior year, LSU is gonna be looking nasty on defense. Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. I'm gonna roll with Van. I like Vandy. Nah, I think Vandy gotta do too much. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Tennessee. Think Tennessee will get that dub. Virginia versus Virginia Tech. I'm gonna roll with Virginia on that one. Alabama versus Auburn. I'm gonna roll with Alabama, but it's at Auburn, so we know how that go. That's a high possibility that Auburn could win that game. 5-6 too. That's just what they do. 5-6, end of the year. Can we get into the bowl game? Yeah, let's go beat Alabama. That's exactly how I beat. And they really go out there and smack the mess out of Alabama them years too. Not smacking them around like the score, but like it'd be a good game. And usually they end up winning. USC versus UCLA. I'm gonna go with USC. Tulane versus Charlotte. I'm gonna go with Tulane. Cal versus SMU. I'm going SMU. These must just be regular games. And then Notre Dame versus Stanford. I'm gonna go with Notre Dame. I do like that Stanford when they got the offensive coordinator from Washington. I think that's gonna be really good, really good fit. And they said that he was at Stanford for a little while too. So I think if he's able to get the recruitment back on board, they got a quarterback at least. So yeah, those are my picks for this week, guys. This is supposed to be quote unquote rival week. Let me see what other little small rivalries going on. Western Kentucky versus Jacksonville State. I'm gonna go Western Kentucky. They've been more solid. Louisville versus Kentucky. I'm going Louisville. I just think they got a better team. Clemson versus South Carolina. I'm gonna go with South Carolina just because I think he could probably win that game. Hopefully, we'll see if Sellers can win that. Houston versus Baylor. I'm gonna go with Houston. They've been on a roll this year. Colorado versus Kansas State. I'm gonna go Colorado. Iowa State. Why they not playing Iowa? They playing Oklahoma State. I'm gonna go with Iowa State. I don't see any other rivalries. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for Arkansas. Man, Arkansas versus Missouri. I'm going Missouri. That's Wisconsin versus Minnesota. I'm gonna roll with Minnesota on this one. I'm gonna roll with Minnesota on that one. Florida versus Florida State. I'm rolling with Florida State. Yeah, those are my picks for this week, man. Hey, man, thank for y'all for coming out. Supporting, man. Number G takes. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man, and share it to a friend. Y'all have a great one. Peace.